Welcome to Humanity Unboxed. Michael, so glad to hear you on the other side. Yeah, we are still on being heard, and the implications of that, and connection, and all those elements. And I kind of feel that that's something you've been experiencing a lot over the
Yes.
past couple of months.
As a matter of fact, just right now, I couldn't connect to you.
Exactly. We're a little bit behind. Well, we're a little bit out of the time schedule because of a
Yeah.
lack of internet connection.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
the issue is we got so much through the internet. We got all aware that we are all interconnected, but it's dependent now on the internet to be connected. And our technology.
Yeah.
And it's not perfect, and it's
No.
never as good as when you just meet people.
No.
Also, I feel when everybody wants to just connect through the internet, we
Mm.
lose the feeling, because there's so much more information that is exchanged when you meet in person. But
Yes.
this is the evolution that we all are on the planet, and we all interconnected and talk to each other and exchange. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm also saying the awareness, that's our forte, the
Yeah.
awareness uh, that it's better to talk to human in person
Mm.
versus on the phone or in an email, especially, or in a text, where it's like, I think text is like 4 to 11% of communication that goes through,
Yeah.
because the misinterpretation and all this stuff.
And
So
tone. There's no tone. There's no emotion, isn't it? And emotion, or um, showing emotion is a very human-like thing that texts and written words and things like that, it gets lost and meaning gets lost because we see things the way that they aren't always.
yeah, absolutely. And also, it's like, they say, all the research says that it's probably not the words, it's the space in between,
Yeah.
how we communicate, and that's why we have to perceive with all our senses the other person.
Yeah.
Not just reading something, then translating in our brain, or the reverse brain, translating what we read, and then misinterpreting, and then so we get always think. There's another thing of connection is also when you system, we over amplify the systems. They're more powerful than humans, and then
Yeah.
we try to understand why are all these humans dying, why they get sick, why they are uncomfortable, and whatever.
Yeah.
And we reverse engineer from something this is already system relevant to see what is the essence of humans. So defining human through a faulty, outdated system doesn't help either, to connect.
Mm.
And
But logistically, it's a tool that we need to find how to use.
exactly, updated.
Yeah.
Aware and up. It's always aware, question, update.
Yeah.
Aware, question, update. And
Yeah.
we're never gonna end. The thing is to make finance. It's just, okay, now we have created the perfect, whatever,
Yeah.
retirement system, right? Like, it's outdated the next day. So we
Yeah.
have to make them living systems where we can constantly update to our awareness, that we constantly grow. We grow our awareness and our consciousness, our collective consciousness too.
Yeah.
Women were for years disregarded,
Yeah.
and before even where men were disregarded, and it doesn't work. It's always the whole. It's yin and yang. It's not like,
Exactly.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can't just focus on one thing and forget the other and say, oh, I
No,
want
and
to just be positive. You don't know that you're positive when you don't be aware of the negative. So you can
exactly.
choose. You can make a choice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we need to embrace the other side, and
yeah,
trying to understand the other side, um, and then kind of move away from those generalizations, because connection is the only point of growth, really. I mean, we as we grow, as the systems have grown, you know, we've had, when I was growing up, there was hardly any cell phones, so it was just the people around
Me
you.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
And then Sunday nights, I think nighttime and Sundays, it was cheaper to call, so you
Yeah.
could kind of go on the landline, and I would have long conversations with my grandmother, who lived about an hour away.
Yeah.
But we couldn't see each other because, you know, of stuff, you know, you're busy, or, you know. And then it kind of grew when I started traveling after school. I went overseas, and my mom had to figure out how to send an email. So she was typing the email, and then she pressed send, and then she got all anxious and ran to the neighbor and asked the neighbor she must come and help because the email is now gone. And, you know, and
Yeah.
I could only receive the email if I went to a coffee shop. There were these internet cafes.
Yeah.
And then you'd log into your email account, and then there'd be an email from whoever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't this constant flood of information and things and personas. I think we create a lot of, unintentionally, you know, through social media or whatever platform you use, you create a persona that isn't always you. So yeah, it's all these things that we in this connection, that we now have to deal with. Yet, you know, on the other side, the yin and yang side, I get to chat to you, and you all the way over, I don't know, thousands of kilometers away,
Yep.
which I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have had these sharing of ideas if there wasn't the octopus movement or those calls, or, you know,
Yep.
whatever it is. But I do think we're coming back to we also need to come back into our bodies and kind of be present with other people in real spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with this because we need to be aware of the human centric, of the human centricity. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
need to know what what it is, what it is that made the systems, and that system never can be as good as humans. We need to
Yes.
say it can never be as good as humans because system can only be tools to facilitate a task. They should, you know, we created systems to help us, to support us, that we can connect. See, I'm going back to the connection, so that
Yeah.
we can actually connect and interact, you know,
Yeah.
naturally with all our senses. So systems should do nothing else but facilitate, help, that we can actually be full one-on-one humans all, and that we can then, as the one-on-one humans, contribute to each other and actually lift the human potential instead of repeating the system relevant patterns that we created.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, in that process, of navigating systems, because it's important for us to be able to navigate the systems, you know, to find our space, to kind of understand that we are humans and not systems. But it's also important for us to have accessibility. I'm trying to figure out what you know, how to say what I'm kind of trying to mean. But for especially for neurodivergent people, which, you know, I think there's a lot more neurodivergence than we admit, because a lot of people just, I don't
Yeah,
even like
because
the word.
disability, calling it a disability is so bad, because it's like
Yeah,
the
ridiculous.
shame icing on the shame icing on already shamed personality. So you know, oh, you're dumb, you're neurodiverse, oh, you're dyslexic, oh, let's give you the moniker of being disabled. Now that is you're already disabled when you have no legs and you're going in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
then calling you on top of that disabled. And
Yeah.
I've looked into this the disabled issue in there recently, and I'm writing a piece on it.
Mm.
It's just frightening what it does mentally. And we say, and we have increasingly mental uh, crisis about
Yeah.
mental health,
Yeah.
and yeah, and the system just takes that advantage. But it does the help really help mental health, or does it make it worse because it defines it and puts you into acting as whatever PTSD, whatever it puts you into a
Box.
jar,
Yeah.
a box,
Mm.
and then you can never get out. Because I've never met any. I've talked to soldiers and everything. I've never talked to any soldier that was the same. One
No.
soldier had headaches. One soldier had frights and sweats at night.
Mm-hmm.
One soldier had was totally normal, where you think at least the appearance was totally normal. And everybody tries. See, this is really interesting. This is amplifying us to pretend. So when I say, oh, Michelle, you're neurodiverse, you're disabled, you
Yeah.
pretend to not look disabled, and instead of being you, and everybody
But
tries to
this is,
pretend.
yeah. And this is the point. Neurodivergence has got nothing to do with disability. I'm sorry, and I know that you know this because
I know
I
this
just
absolutely.
find it is it's this beauty. It's like women have been put into little
Yeah,
boxes and made to um disempowered and whatever you want to call it, not
yeah,
given the rights and had to fight for all this stuff. And I just saw this chess player that refused to go play chess in Saudi Arabia this morning. I read somewhere about it.
yeah,
And it's like, you know, it's the same with neurodivergence. It's almost like it's suppressing this evolvement of the brain because it's
yeah,
different and because it's outside of the system, which is very, very broken. It needs it. The system is kind of almost like it's kind of trying to defend itself by disempowering neurodivergence. And I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm dealing with schools and
yeah,
education and children and stuff. And I almost don't want to have labels like autism or ADHD or dyslexia, or because they all overlap. You know,
yeah,
it's like these are different brains. We have different brains. Every person is different. You can't
yeah.
tell me that all autistic people are the same, or all people with
No,
ADHD.
anybody you meet is every. Just go to simple. Have
Yeah.
you ever met the same woman? Have you ever met the same man? Every
No.
system definition. Why can't we tell each other we are humans? Yeah, you can say, I'm a female or a male, or whatever you wish to say, but why we are not humans? One humans. That is the
Yeah.
only simplest update that actually can make out of outdated systems living systems. It is just one little update that's saying, hey, we are all one humans. So don't try to judge it. Don't try to put us in a box. This is this is a perfect human. Oh, hey, he has no legs. Okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. And we will do everything from a system to make this person be a part of us, be a part
And
of
that includes
humanity.
accessibility. So accessibility
Yeah,
to information, to
yeah,
explaining how these systems work, because it's almost like that's the gateway to all these things that creates this disability label. Because
yeah,
if I can't if I can't access the information, then yes, I am not able, so disabled,
exactly. Yeah,
to navigate the
yeah.
system.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and that's beautiful because, and it's so it's so shamed. So you're disabled, and look at us, and then the system says, okay, look what we gave you. We gave you a wheelchair. You hate that wheelchair. That wheelchair is not the right wheelchair for you because it doesn't enable you. But there is another wheelchair that could. And no,
Yeah,
that is too expensive. No, that is too special. No, we can do that. So
yeah,
that's that it's it's changed now from because in my thing, I'm trying to send people what my essential needs are. And I've talked about foundations, health foundations.
Yeah.
They're not allowing you to send your needs. And I think that's the major thing for neurodivergent too, for all people, but especially for
Yeah.
neurodivergent, to write what their essential need to survive are. And then the system say, okay, we can't help you in this, but we have this, and we can really help you in this. It makes the process faster. But what's now, it's a business. It's a business. I say, no, exactly my nutrition I need to take for my brain. And the system says, no, we don't we have to assess. I said, you still can assess me, but you assess me once you know what I need, that you can assess me correctly with your experience and wisdom that you have gotten through the life. But the person cannot do that because the system says, no, we don't take any needs. You need to assess them and then give them what we have. And that's not help. This is the other article I'm writing about health. This is not health. This is just manipulation to make business.
Yeah.
Because I don't need a car. I don't need a car, but I need to have the right food.
Yes. And certain things, but how do there's a lot that I want to say, but I don't know, like, how do we empower everyone to understand what their needs are? Because
awareness. That's what we do.
The system that you are navigating is a different system than what I navigate, or that any other one humans navigate, because our perceptions are so different.
Yeah, and the country is different, and the system is different, and everything is different.
And the needs are different.
Yeah, but that's why the awareness needs to be first, because then all system can align to the human-centric awareness of what is health, what is disability, how to deal with disabled, how to deal with the one-on-one, how can we, and that's the first step would be just see that they're one-on-one and not a definition. Humans are not a definition, they are one-on-one each, and they're very unique each.
Yes, very, very unique. And yet, it's almost like we're going from in this is what Jung called individuation. Like, this is the process of our life, is to find our own uniqueness. But somehow along the way we get forced to almost become dependent. We need money to pay bills.
Absolutely.
This and that, and we don't actually need any of those things if we had an environment where we could look after ourselves, where we could create, where we could really live, and this, I don't even like this word purpose very much, but where we can do the thing that our soul needs us to do.
To contribute and to be that one-on-oneness. To contribute and be that one-on-oneness, that has rights and responsibilities, and as the one-on-one, and to feel that and go by the feeling, not what is told to you, to be a cog to fit in, because cog to fit in is a disempowering of every human. I don't care if it's Elon Musk or anybody else. This is everything. The putting the cog is really disempowering all humans. So that's true. But this is why we talk about it, and we actually exemplary in showing people actually talk centrically. We come to an awareness, and awareness, because once you have cancer, right? Once somebody says you have cancer, then you have to do something, or you can deny it, but you have to do something, and you ask questions. So what treatments do I have? So awareness forces questions to bring it into the physical, to then make update systems or look for systems that can provide. But when I'm not able to express what I need, my needs, then the system decide about my life. And a system should never decide about a human life in war or anywhere, because we created systems. And that's against nature. When money is and right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I just want to say awareness also brings accountability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It
So
forces, I think, when you have cancer, you are accountable to take care of it. You know?
but and in that accountability, I can choose not to have treatment. I can
Absolutely.
choose to do it. You know what I mean? So in any awareness, suddenly I'm accountable because I now am part of my own ecosystem. I am my own
You
ecosystem.
are your 101, and you are
Yeah.
responsible for your 101ness. And if you say, I don't want to do anything having cancer, then that's fine. And actually might not even be such a, I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying the highest recovery of stage 4 cancer is in hospices. It's absolutely the highest thing when they unplug everything, and then the body can just realign and then die in peace or pass in peace or recover. You have
Yeah.
nowhere, no environment do you have, and that's what the system is our environment. In no environment you have more stage. That's what I read. I'm not
Yeah.
an expert.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but
But yeah, it makes sense because in that space, suddenly it is me, myself, and I in a way,
exactly. Hmm.
and often when we are so swept up by these systems or people or things, and we are not aware, then we are not accountable because I didn't know, because I'm ignorance isn't an excuse anymore, because we
Yeah.
can choose to be aware, and it's uncomfortable to move into awareness and to do, or experience life not as a participant but as actually the main kind of the parts of the we're main players in this whole thing. We're not just being swept up in
Yeah.
whatever's happening to us.
Yeah, because in the water, we are the water.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
we, and when we actually work together, that's why we are so. Every scientific thing says when people work together, they are they are better than one. When people talk
Exactly.
together, when people they're better, and especially if they're not system relevant. So I'm your CEO, and I'm telling you what to do. That is not working together. It's the dance.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
dance to find the synergistic fit. And when the synergistic fit is, then you do the, like you and I, you do this synergistic fit and become constantly more aware, more able. Till it's not. Till we have reached the plateau, and then we go somewhere else. But
Yeah.
this is the power. This is the superpower of humans, and this understanding nobody has. People just compete against each other because when they're generalized, when you are cogged, what I call it cogged, right? When
Yeah.
you're cogged as a woman, when you're cogged as an athlete or whatever,
Yeah.
you have to compete.
Yeah.
If you focus on one is you collaborate. And in the collaborate is the superpower of humans. We are
Yeah.
collective creator animals of a collective creator species of nature. And because we are so much developed and we have free will, we should be the stewards of nature.
Yeah.
And we're just competing against, everybody competes against each other. Now the richest people, because they're most fearful, now they start competing with each other, and that equals war.
Well, it's also, we are the chosen nation, therefore no one can rule us.
Yeah,
And we are better than,
yeah,
which becomes the issue because we don't see each other. It's always a us and them scenario,
yeah,
instead of a, us together,
yeah,
which kind of
yeah.
brings us back to that,
Yeah.
you know,
So it's like,
connection.
yeah, it's like your boy is a rugby player. That's it. That's the only thing I define him. I see him only because I see him playing rugby.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
No,
crazy.
definitely. Yeah, exactly.
He's a
Um,
one-on-one phenomena. He is a
yeah.
one-on-one phenomena.
Exactly,
It's
and the system, or especially the education system, which I'm constantly having great
yeah,
issues with, having worked in it and having, you know, seen the potential in this space. There isn't. It's so, the duality is so huge in it. Like, you either do sport or you do academics, or
Yeah.
you're dyslexic, so therefore you just don't have access to all this information. Yet there's this problem solving ability that you have that is not being grown. Would rather put you in the library and show you how to fix yourself, which is really frustrating.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but and then that's, you can't navigate those systems. You have to be able to step out and say, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have these conversations quite often as to, okay, well, you're not who other people see you as. You
Yeah.
are who you are meant to be, whatever that is.
Yeah. 100%. And also, what you say to fix yourself is to cogify yourself, because there's nothing
Yeah.
to fix. There's something to discover and become conscious and aware that you will change further into your one-on-oneness, but there is nothing to fix. You can just be, hey, why am I always getting slapped in the face?
Yeah.
That is not, you got to behave right. No, it's to become aware of that, and then actually integrate that into your one-on-oneness, and then you're not going to get slapped in the face anymore. So
Yeah, or maybe not be in that environment where there's slapping
exactly,
being, dealt out.
exactly. Yeah.
That's not going to help you grow very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not to cogify you and say, hey, I'm going to put you on Ritalin or on whatever drug, to calm you down or whatever. That's not how to grow. It's because naturally, by nature, humans are benevolent. They're not going to look at kids before they go to school. They all do together. There's not about gender or anything. They just play with each other. And then the moment they come to school and get conditioned, which we always say, education is still on the same the same form as it was in 1845, to discipline and sort out boys. Now we have girls with it. We have the internet. We have AI. Nobody cares. What? And I wrote today. Is a friend. We work on the education, the new human-centric education, and nobody can answer the question. What is the form of education today? Nobody. Go to your school and ask.
Yeah.
What is the function? The function of education today?
It's control. It's rote learning and control, instead of potential and things like that. Michael, I actually
it was perfect for the Persian War.
Yeah, but we're way past that. We're way past that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to have to end a couple of minutes early because I have a meeting with my son's teacher.
Educators. That's good.
Funnily enough.
But dance with them and let's update the system. Awareness will make makes them focus on the positive.
Well, that's it. And show, I think connection is key here, because if we can connect to the people in the system, and a little bit of rebellion.
Humans.
I'm a bit of a
humans
rebel.
Humans have to connect.
Yeah, they do.
No, you're not.
They do.
You're not.
Oh, yes.
You're you. You're not a rebel. Rebellion is already system relevant. Think that you are against the system. You're not against the system. You say, hey, we're for humans.
Yes.
Without humans, the systems are irrelevant. Without humans, so you're not a rebellion. You're actually for humans.
Yeah. Well, I'm a rebel. You know where the word rebel comes from? It's around. I think we shared some information about the bells that were taken away. So it's rebelling. That vibration back into the world. So in essence, we are rebels. In that we want to rebel the world. Maybe.
Yeah. Perfect.
Love you lots. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you next week.
I will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you. That was good.